Well, hi there. My name is Rihanna, and we are back at it again. And for this video, we are doing another round of Artists of Life workbook review. And for this one, it's going to be a mix of both March and for the first quarter of the year, so that I can just like kind of nicely wrap it in. And then, if I remember correctly from planning, the next one should be for planning quarter two, and this is where from there in quarter two we're not going to do month by month reviews. We're just going to like wrap it up in the end of the quarter in like a half year review sort of deal. And then I'll have obviously other content in April, May, and June. So with that in mind, let's get right into it. For Artists of Life 2024, we're pulling from Eileen's book. And with that in mind, let's start with the review of like March and kind of get like a little wrap up grasp, so that I can set up for like a big part for the 2024 for the quarter one review that'll cover January, February, and March, and just kind of like the overall highlights from them. So yeah. So with March, kind of the same gist, where you got the first couple pages where it is like kind of like breaking down the goals that you want to accomplish for the month. The main goals for me this month were to start some pepper and tomato seeds for my gardening, which is also fun, and to get like some more soiling stuff and just get like what I have prepared for obviously starting those two sets of seeds, plus for can I get a grasp of what I need to have on hand to fill other like top offs and stuff for like lettuce, cucumbers, that sort of stuff as well. And then the other thing was to replace a weight bench bar. I'm going to be horrible at saying these things when it comes to the gym. I am not experienced much at all. I do follow a program with another YouTuber or on this platform for a hot minute, but I follow his stuff just for the actual like content. But for like gym lingo, like what things are called, I'm horrible. But yeah, we needed a essentially my partner has suggested getting a one that's curled or curved. So it has like divots in the bar in the middle where you like have options to put your hands. So we got that for in the size that we need for the weights that we have. So that was on the to-do list, and then obviously keeping up with my general habits and like little daily things, daily drivers. And then mini goals, I'd set out to start some Green Start goodies like the lettuce, spinach, carrots, radishes, turnips, kind of those early stuff. Though here in a moment we'll see that I didn't quite start those things quite yet, because I am filming this the week before Easter for 2024, just because my week is so busy leading up to Easter. So I just want to make sure that I have, you know, a little bit of this filmed and just space for myself to do my work, and because I do have a steady job and that I love, which that is in one of the highlights for this month, is something to do with that, or a couple things rather. But since I do still have a job, and then I have some plans over Easter weekend that I just want to fully enmesh myself in. So that was kind of the gist that I wanted to get going for March, not only for just the month in general, but to set myself up for success, which is kind of like this whole like quarters theme, is setting myself up for success for the nice weather months. Easiest put. So with that, I kind of broke it down. It's 1 through 9, 10 through 16, 17 through 23, and 24 through 31. So that last one's a little bit longer, but that is perfectly fine for me. I just like to, for whatever reason, it hits me well to, you know, include all of the days instead of like have, you know, some of it just like bleed into like the next month's planning. I don't know. So yeah, I kind of broke that down, and then flipping the next couple pages, I've shared a little bit of that. I'll throw up a blank set of this, like, stay on track on gratitude journal pages, just so you can get, like, a hint, and I don't expose, like, everything that I, have ever done and want to write about and what I use this for. So the habit tracker, comparing all the stuff, because there's 10 slots, like I've shared, that you can keep track of doing or, regulating throughout the month. And for the last 3 months, I've been keeping everything the same, just so I can, like, reflect back on all 3, and then I can just be like, oh, especially when it comes to the quarter review part of it, I can be like, okay, these are, since they are the same, it's a little bit easier to track instead of having, like, January be a set, and then February be different, March be, even more different. So, I have that. And I've fared pretty well for March, which is obviously a good sign for the stuff that I want to do and create. I've been doing a little bit here and there every day on at least, most of these things. There's only a couple days that I haven't done, 1 or 2 things throughout the last 3 months. And so far this month, I've been pretty awesome, because it's like stuff like YouTube, whether it's planning content or filming, editing, posting, descriptions, link, that sort of stuff. That kind of is like all YouTube. Plus, I also, like, if I do other stuff that I habit track for, I guess you want to call, I'll mark YouTube for that, because it's kind of related. Like if I do gardening stuff, like planting, seed starting, or if it's just like mapping out that sort of stuff, because I do want to create some gardening content here, at least this year. I can't speak for years from now, but alas, hopefully that I can do that in the future still. Hopefully it's interesting to somebody. But yeah, so like if I do gardening content, a lot of the times I'll snap a picture, or like the last video, I'll just throw stuff up on the screen. So that kind of, like, 2 birds, 1 stone. So yeah, YouTube, reading, gardening, journaling. I wanted to make it more of a habit, especially with some, like, grief and mental health aspects. I found journaling is very cathartic and very helpful for a lot of the things that I want out of life, let alone just processing. So I want to keep in that same habit. Plus, the app that I use, Day One, they frequently, I'm horrible at saying, like, how regularly, but throughout the year they'll do where you can get, like, emails and stuff like that for, like a Valentine's Day, or like what you're grateful for, like around Thanksgiving. They'll do stuff like that. And they'll give you different prompts than what they give you in the app itself a lot of the times. So I'll do those as well, and that's really helpful. So I like doing that. Something creative, because a lot of my things are the things that I want to do in 2024 and get out of this year. Lean creative, like I want to crochet, I want to paint, and I have already done some of that as well. Let alone, like, YouTube's kind of creative as well. Gardening's kind of creative, cooking's really creative, so it's like doing those foundational things, and I just want to make sure that I'm tracking that as well as I do it. Things like fitness and hydration, let alone language learning. I think I've mentioned this before, where I've been learning Italian, which is really fun, so at least doing 1 lesson, and most of the time it is. But doing quick little things like that, where it helps kind of structure my day a little bit, as well as it just helps me improve in a lot of the things that the little things, because a lot of it is just those micro habits. Those little things lead up to bigger things, lead into the results that you want. So that's kind of the stuff that, again, I think I've gone over this a lot in my, like, January and February reviews. But again, if it's your first time seeing my face, first time seeing, this sort of content, that's kind of my gist. And then my daily tracker, similar to the habit tracker stuff, I've been keeping track of the same 3 things. And on a scale of 1 to 10 on how I'm handling those things, or going about it. And then my gratitude journal page on the other part is, like, again, it kind of like I've said in January and February's, where I put a lot down in the gratitude journal, and I use it almost like as inspiration, and I kind of pull from it. I'll quite literally almost like copy and paste into the month review. So with that, I was able to upload a couple more videos that I'm grateful to still have the ability to do, and interest and discipline for, and then connecting with people, like my middle school best friend and family members, like with Easter, I was able to connect with them as well there. Some other friends, and then, just little things like that. So for the main 2 pages of like the March review, so it kind of goes more into detail of like breaking down how the month really went as a reflection. The highlights, kind of pulling from the gratitude journal, and what I alluded to with the habits, I was able to complete a couple crochet projects, obviously edit and upload a couple videos to put on and stay consistent with YouTube. I started a LinkedIn certificate course with LinkedIn Premium, just to help, further my career, further my interests, that sort of stuff. I was able to plan out some of the courses that I wanted to take across a few different platforms as well. And I put it in the back of the book, kind of like how I'd shared with my gardening stuff, where it's in the back, where it's on the dotted and lined pages. And then I roughly planned out what I wanted to write on Medium so that I could have a rough idea and start batch writing almost. So when I'm really in the mood to, write, and I get into like a gist of that, then, at least I have like the general topics that I want to like go over, or just ideas even. And then I did some baking. I started a new video game on my Switch, because that was a couple of things too that I wanted to dive into this year that were just like more for me, more, fluff things, and not had to like, work, it's all about work and grinding, and then made one of my, I made my spring canvas that I want to put on a gallery wall, that I have help from my stepmom. She's helped me, she has helped me in the gallery wall, so that I can have like a nice little thing to come down the stairs too. So yeah, I worked on my spring canvas board for that, which is just a big old canvas, and I just made a little artsy fartsy. And then with reflections on that reflection page, what did I learn this month? Essentially, I learned how nurturing I can be, especially towards myself, and how healing that's been, because I've struggled with that a lot. It is just like my mental attitude towards myself, let alone just, how I handle injuries and stuff like that. Not hinting at anything on my face at the moment. But, and then, what I learned is, obviously, it's kind of another thing too, is from that certificate that I've worked through this month. That's obviously a duh moment, is I've learned a lot more into what I've dived? Doven? Well, I think it's Doven, but that sounds weird. Divin? Please tell me the correct way. But what I've dived into on the course, I'm going to struggle with that. And then I'm getting better with my line work on crocheting and with my painting, which is awesome. And then what am I proud of for this month? Rough planning my ideas and goals for, like I said, the Medium articles and my certificates and all that sort of stuff, having a rough idea so that I can have an easier time, essentially, doing what I want to accomplish throughout this year. And then obviously planning out my garden content and stuff like that, both for YouTube and for what I, more importantly, want out of my garden. And then I'm really proud of the circle of loved ones that I have, both family and friends. Just that support network and stuff like that, because we all tend to, at least what I've seen, we all tend to kind of like get into that ebb and flow of like assuming, you know, that people are like still gonna be around, or, you know, this, that, the other, like no beef times, you know, where there's no drama and stuff like that. But I do find it very, like, it's heartwarming. I'll say it's super heartwarming and nice that, you know, my circle of friends and family and loved ones are super interested in what I'm doing and interested in just like my growth and where I'm going and all of the success that I've had and all that fun stuff, or even just, you know, when I goof up. So that's really nice. And then just allowing myself to experience emotions as needed and work through them and sit with them, because feelings are meant to be felt. And then some of the things that I want to improve on moving forward, which is the last part of the monthly reflection, is to be more mindful of certain things that I consume and what I do while consuming them. That's being a nice way of what happened to my face. I won't go into the gory details because those who know know. And but yeah, I got that. And then just to keep being more present and don't push as hard to be as productive or always on, because I do tend to struggle with that, and that's part of some of my mental health issues and struggles, is just feeling like I just need to go and not give myself any proper breaks, or allow myself to have off days as well, where it's just not off days in the sense of like, oh, you know, you're just having like a really depressed day, which that can be too, but it's just like, oh, do I always have to be doing every little thing and playing like every little minuscule minute? And, you know, okay, we're gonna do this here and that there and all that stuff. So taking the time to just be like, hey, I just want to, you know, read and watch a movie and play my Switch. The other little thing that I want to continue working on, and what I am struggling with, is more so leading up to this. It essentially is I want to keep working towards my daily/weekly meditation goals, and I'm struggling with that, with consistency of it. It's not like I don't like it. It's not like I don't know how to do it. And I do have access to like guided meditations, let alone just like the act of like setting a timer. Like, okay, we're going to do 3 minutes. Oh, okay, we're going to do like 10 minutes or something like that. It's just the act that I need to get more in the habit of doing, because I don't want to just like say, oh, I, you know, had some mindful minutes because I journaled today. I like, yes, mind dumping or doing the journaling prompts is very mindful and is kind of a meditative practice in and of itself. But I would just want to be more consistent on taking time out and just sitting and being and practicing meditation, since it is such a good act for me to pursue. So for the quarterly review, I'll throw up the couple of pictures that I had selected, and like for the what I kind of started and like the blank part for the quarterly reviews. So for the wins, for the quarter, I'm really proud of how much I read this quarter. I've read a good handful of books. It's not like I have a personal quota to meet for my work, but I've sold, at least to my records, I've sold way more than I thought I ever could. Not like I was like self-doubting, but I just wasn't like, I'm not used to like this level of sales price. So what I'm used to in the dollar amounts is very skewed toward a different angle. And so the amount that I've sold just from January through March, which is not a fiscal quarter, but it's just a regular, like, yearly quarter, I'm super duper proud of. And then obviously I've uploaded my first handful of videos, and I've really gotten more accustomed to editing, accustomed to talking, and with iMovie and like I personally thus far using like iMovie and stuff like that, and just video editing and content creation in general. I'm really proud of the gardening video that I just put up. So it was last video where I was able to insert some clips and images and stuff like that, so that, you know, I could, you know, show a little bit more instead of just like me sitting here talking. So I'm really proud of like the progress that I'm making. And then I also wrote my first handful of Medium articles and published them for this year. I completed a couple of certificates as well to help me like learn more and dive more into the sort of trajectory career-wise that I would like to experience, hopefully. And it's a really hard field to get into at the moment, which is technology. And I'm in tech sales, technically. And I'm very familiar and comfortable with sales and now tech sales, since I've been in tech sales exclusively. I've done a year and a half exclusively, roughly, of tech sales, and then I've spent some time in tech support, and a lot of the things that I want to learn and grow in is that tech support aspect, since I just fell in love with it, and I just like that aspect of helping people and just working on projects and issues, and I wanted to get more into the nitty-gritty side of it. That's what I'm learning, so. And then, I was really proud of the fact that I was able to take a good social media break, just for mental health and to really focus in on the goals, like YouTube, like writing articles, like the certificates that I've been accomplishing, that sort of stuff. So I'm really proud of myself for that, let alone just keeping up with the like micro habits that I want to keep in my daily life. And then, so how did I do on my quarter one goals? My quarter one goals was garden planting, so the act of planting and getting stuff going, fitness goals, and then career progression, which is just more like getting more grasp of like understanding, and obviously the certificates and stuff that I might want to explore in my career, since I am basically 30, so it's just a matter of like I still have my whole life ahead of me in this career machine that is called adulthood. And then creativity, and I'm rating on a scale of 0 to 10, and for each of the monthly like review parts, there is this month I took steps to get closer to my goals and dream life, and you can rate on a scale of 1 to 10. And so that's kind of what I'm pulling from overall, and I'll jot that down. And then next to the habit tracker, on the like little wedge on the right hand side, I have it rated on like how many days out of the month that I completed each task, for a handful of the stuff, like the creativity, YouTube, gardening, what else? Yeah, and then fitness. So yeah, so I'll accumulate that, and then I'll edit and put in my personal rating, and I'm trying to be a lot more gracious, and this is also kind of why I wanted to keep the same 10 things of habit tracker, is so that I can give an honest look, and instead of just pulling from my own memory, let alone just how I feel I did, or, you know, trying to, you know, be down on myself, because that's something, if you know me in real life, you know that I struggled with that hard, especially in my teenage years, well, even into my early 20s, and I've really been working on that lately. But having that metric is almost like a fail safe for that line of thinking and going down that rabbit hole. And then On the next page is how has my life evolved over the past 3 months. And it's a lot of it's the self-confidence in my abilities and the consistency that I've improved on, and also lifted throughout the reflections and journaling and in my habits, partially in thanks to having that habit tracker to check it off every day, and also just, how I feel overall, even in the stuff that I don't track every day, and just like accomplish, like doing a certificate, because you don't do that in one day, at least I don't. So stuff like that, my mental and emotional awareness of signs of burnout and stress, and just when I'm getting better at seeing where my mood can go. So like if I have a glass of wine, something like that, I can kind of see how that'll affect my physical health and my mental health and emotional health, without, the next couple days. Or if I just don't get enough sleep, or if I, a culmination of things, and just being more aware of it, and not in a negative way. Just be more observant, which is kind of that meditative practice that I want to move forward in doing. And then I've also learned a lot more in the technology space through my certificates. A lot of it is more of the system administrator sort of stuff, because the other certificate that I took was the Google IT support. And a lot of that stuff, I knew enough, or I knew enough about that sort of scope of support, because it was a lot more software based and just learning the basics, whereas the sysadmin stuff is more like just more of the nitty gritty of how operating systems work and how to set up the client and download it and get into all that stuff. And I don't need to bore you with that. Some of the biggest lessons that I've learned in this first quarter. Self-paced courses, through the couple certificates, is something that I really do benefit from, doing that self-paced. And then obviously you get a little something out of the end by getting the certificate. And then grief and sadness can shift and vary even with the same onset or cause of it. And every time you grieve something or someone, it can vary between the person or persons that you lost, which have found very interesting. Not like I didn't know it before, but it's just I'm so much more aware of it this time. And then there's more to tech support and the tech sector that I want to explore, at least the rest of the year, and obviously just overall. And that was kind of caused by the courses that I've been taking. And then what am I most excited about moving forward, for like the other 3 quarters, rest of the year? I'm really looking forward to my gardening season and what the rest of 2024 has in store, as cliche as that sounds. I feel like this year, it just has a decent feeling to it that I haven't experienced in quite some time, as long as it is on the back of just talking about grief. I'm really excited about taking more photography time and videography time in the sunset and sunrise times, since now we're in daylight saving. I think, yeah, it's daylight savings, right? When sunset and sunrise are a little bit farther in between during the day. I can't wait to explore that a little bit more. And then just creative exploration in general, which kind of encompasses the sunrise and sunsets, let alone just YouTube, Medium, photography, because that's just something that I like to do on the side, just for personal pleasure. And then what I'll be able to learn and grow into, professionally speaking, with my current job and certificates, to where that might might lead me in the future as well. So that's kind of the quarter review and March. And so with that in mind, I hope that this finds you well and this was interesting and not too long and boring. So with that, I hope that you have a good rest of your day, night, weekend, whenever you're seeing this. And yeah, if you want to share a little bit of what you have going on for spring, don't hesitate to, this is so customer servicey, don't hesitate to comment down below. So I'd like to hear and maybe get some inspiration for myself on, what summer and fall might even bring, or I might address some stuff before you see my quarter two journaling, I guess you want to call it, journaling, plan out, something like that. So yeah, on that note, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, night, whatever, and see you in the next one. Bye.